Good morning students. Today we are going to read topic number 2, soil of chapter 2, geography. Now here are some facts about soil. What is soil? Soil is a grainy substance. What is grainy substance? It means that it appears like grains deposited on the land. Soil is composed of organic matter, minerals and weathered rock. Organic matter is the dead, decaying part of plants and animals. Minerals which are found between the rocks, inside the rocks. Weathered rock, the broken pieces of rocks which are formed due to the process of weathering. Now what is weathering? Weathering is the process of breaking of rocks due to change in the temperature, frost action and sometimes by plants and human activities.
Now we will discuss about soil profile. It means different layers of soil at different levels. The bottom layer of the soil is called parent rock. It is composed of parent rock. It is made up of big pieces of rocks. Above that we have second layer of soil comprising of weathered rock material due to the process of weathering. Above that, we have third layer of soil which is called as subsoil. Here, the weathered rock material of the previous layer has further broken down into smaller particles including sand, silt and clay. Above that, we have topsoil. This topsoil is composed of humus and vegetation. This topsoil is finer and softer than the subsoil.
As you know students that there are different types of soil found on the earth. So what are the reasons of their difference? The reasons here are the factors. When these factors of soil formation are different at different places, so the type of soil will also be different. Let's start the factors of soil formation. Now look at this, the first factor of soil formation, parent rock. The rocky layer which is at the bottom of the soil is called parent rock. We have already discussed it in the soil profile. This parent rock is responsible for color and texture of the soil. Now the next factor of soil formation is relief. Relief is the topography. In other words, what is the structure of the landform, whether it is at high altitude or on a slope. It decides the accumulation of soil. So usually we find at the top of the mountain we find rocks and at the bottom we find soil. The third factor of soil formation is flora, fauna and microorganism. These three affect the rate of humus formation. Now what is humus? Humus is the dead, decayed matter of plants and animals. They are very important because humus act as a natural fertilizer for the soil. Now the fourth factor of soil formation is the climate. Temperature determines rainfall. With the help of rainfall, weathering process increases. As heavy rainfall increases the speed of flowing water. When it comes down, it carries lot of sand at the bottom. Now the last factor of soil formation is the time. It takes lot of time for a big piece of rock to convert into thick layer of soil, and it is possible only because of weathering process. Now the next topic is soil degradation and conservation. Soil degradation means depletion in the quality of soil. Now we'll see the reasons for this depletion. There are two main factors responsible for soil depletion: human factors and natural factors. Under human factors, deforestation, overgrazing, use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides are responsible for soil depletion. Under natural factors, rain wash, landslides and floods are responsible for soil depletion.
Now let's see the soil conservation methods. The first method is mulching. In this process, crops are grown on the soil. Now in between there is space in the soil. So in that space a layer of organic matter is spread out. So what it does, it helps in retaining the moisture, because the plants which are grown already there, they are absorbing the moisture from the soil. So now this organic matter will act as a reserve of moisture which can be used later on by the plants. The second method is contour barriers. Contour barriers are nothing but the making of barriers sort of thing around the crop field. Barriers are made of with the help of rocks and soil. So when we provide water to them, these contour barriers help in retaining water in between the crops. The third method is rock dam. In this method, around the field, rocks are piled up to prevent gully formation, because from these gullies water can easily move out. If we put rocks around it, water will remain inside the field. Now the next method is terrace farming. On the slopes or on the hills, steps are cut out, so the water does not reach to the ground directly. It remains on the terraces, and along with the water, soil also remains on the terraces. It reduces surface runoff and soil erosion. The next method is intercropping. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rainwash. Next method is contour plowing. In this method, crops are grown along the contouring slopes of the hills, so that water does not flow down the slope directly and soil is prevented from getting washed off. The next method is making of shelter belts. In the coastal and dry regions, rows of trees are planted to protect the soil from getting eroded due to strong winds.
Water is a renewable natural resource. Why it is called natural resource? You know that it is naturally available on the earth. It is called renewable resource because the content of water remain constant on the earth, although it changes in its state of formation, like in the form of ice or glaciers, in the form of water, and also in the form of water vapor in the atmosphere. All of the earth is covered with water, so it is called either watery planet or the blue planet. Although it is covered, 3/4 part is covered with water, but major part is available as a saline water. Only 2.7% is available as fresh water. Out of this 2.7%, again major part, around 70% of this fresh water is available in the form of ice sheets and glaciers. It means it is not available for consumption. So, only 1% of fresh water is available for consumption, which is available in the form of underground water, surface runoff like rivers and lakes, and in the form of water vapor. This 1% of water is not sufficient for the growing population of the world. As you know that population of the world is growing, so people need more water for their domestic purposes and also more water for the production of crops. Means if they need more water in agriculture, they need more water in generating electricity, in running industries and so on. All these factors lead to water shortage problem. So we not only need to conserve water resources, but also we need to protect them from getting polluted. Now let's see how can we do this. Water gets contaminated due to many reasons, like releasing of industrial effluents, discharging of agricultural chemicals, and throwing of untreated sewage in the water bodies. Now we will see different methods of water conservation. First method is afforestation. Afforestation means growing of plants so that the plants will replenish underground water. Second method is water harvesting. In this method, canals are constructed so that water stored in canals can be used later on to irrigate the fields. Third method is sprinklers. It is a modern method. It is also used in irrigating the fields, but it helps in reducing water losses to seepage and evaporation. Now the last method is drip irrigation. This method is usually practiced in dry regions or in the regions of high temperature.